After Mayor Richard M. Daley's press conference with United States Attorney General Eric Holder and United States Secretary of Education Arne Duncan at City Hall on October 7, 2009 regarding the ongoing youth violence in the city of Chicago and around the country. People from 30 different organizations who wanted to share information with the two federal officials about their plan to help solve the ongoing youth and gang violence protested outside of Daley's office, wielding petitions from community leaders and residents and other concerned citizens that they want to give the two officials to take back to Washington, D.C. to discuss over with President Barack Obama. Some of the protesters also demanded appearance by the president so they could directly speak with him about the youth and gang violence, the negative effects that it has on the public school students, while others talked about pulling their children out of the schools until meaningful and effective safety measures were put in place for them traveling to and from school.
Where were they? We have a plan for President Obama, and we wanted to share it with his officials. We have petitions of 8,000 signatures here, 8,000 signatures who have said, will you support this plan to end violence in Chicago? It has been ignored by President Obama, and we would like for someone, we've sent it several times, but we would like for someone to please give this to President Obama and ask him please to come back to Chicago, where he's from, and help us to eliminate the violence. We have got 53 children who were killed last year. All of them weren't public school students, but we counted 53 children, 18 and under, who were killed last year, and there has been almost no response from the White House.
What's the essence of your plan?
The essence of the plan is community and parent involvement. Communities and parents at the table when decisions are made, not like what is happening here today. They should have been at Fenger. They should meet with us now. We've got a plan. We've got 30 organizations who come together who are already delivering tens of millions of dollars in-kind services that they're not being paid for. And we want to be at the table. It is an insult that they would come to the table and go downtown and have a meeting at a big hotel. And so we have a plan. It is orderly. There is no circus here. We just want to be respected as a community, and right now we are not getting that respect.
The gist of this, that first of all, you can see there are a lot of community folk that are here. These are people that have been involved since the beginning. For Arne to come to Chicago and pretend as if he does not understand what the source derivation of this problem is ludicrous. Because he, along with members of the Chicago Board of Education, and has to the mayor, were the architects behind these school closings. These children being transferred from their attendance bound to schools outside of their community area, and that, sir, is the bottom line. And the solution is not in that room. The solution, I assure you, is not in that room. And for them to pretend otherwise is almost tantamount to the emperor having no clothes. And the individuals that they've allowed in the room are not the voice of the community, where the real problem has to be solved, because this is a community-based problem. Schools exist in communities. They do not exist in cyberspace.
What's your main point of coming down here today?
My main point coming down here is to represent Roseland, represent the Gardens, represent Dalton, represent South. These schools are funded differently than the city schools. They are funded differently than the north suburbs, and we are tired of that here in Illinois. We want equal school funding. We are going to march and we're going to fight until we get that school funding, and we are going to let people that focus their attention back on the schools and not on their pockets, not on corruption, not on white-collar crime. We're gonna elect people that represent our interests and things that we need in our community.
City of Chicago, black, brown, and white mothers. On this Thursday at the Carruthers Center for Inner City Studies at 7 p.m., all mothers in the city of Chicago who are concerned about the violence, because even though it's touching black children now, all children are in jeopardy, will convene to solve this problem. We all know that once women put their minds to a problem, it will be. is our home.
And your name is?
The African American.
Say met with Fenger students and parents and the principal at the Four Seasons Hotel and had a very good discussion for an hour.
What parents, because it's kind of funny, I remember the parents of the victims and the parents of the children that participated having a meeting at Fenger High School. I remember the parents having a meeting last night coming up with a solution to reopen Carver High School. Is that the message that portrayed in the media today in the mayor's office? This is what's going to happen. We're not here to talk about the problem. The solution is going to be us pulling our kids out of the school because the city of Chicago, the Department of Education, and the Chicago police cannot protect our children. It is not safe for our children to go to school. We'll educate them ourselves. Willie J.R. Fleming, W-I-L-L-I-E, J.R. Fleming, F-L-E-M-I-N-G. And a correction to the mayor. These are not gang members. These are children. In most countries, they call them child soldiers. A war pushed on them. There's a war on poor people.
You're representing Oakdale?
I'm representing the poor people of Chicago. I do human rights. I represent public housing across the city of Chicago.
What's going on in school?
Not learning?
No, our children are fearful because they have to get to that school. To get to that school, they have to go through neighborhoods that are unsafe, people that are attacking them. Our children are our children. They are not what they have been described. They're human beings, and the only thing they want is love. The only thing they want is protection. And it is a shame that when the president sends people here to his community, he can go to Copenhagen. Why can't you come to Chicago? Philip said it right. He can take a Greyhound bus. We'll pay for it. We want Barack Obama here. We don't want anybody that we did not elect. We don't want any of these representatives. We do not want to hear from Mayor Daley and his useless policies of nothing. We want to educate our children. And if necessary, I will tell you, I am from the Greater Chatham Alliance. That is what we want. This is what we're hooked up with now. We're hooked up together as one of the groups that support Philip. I will tell you that the next time a child is maimed or dead, we will stop traffic on the Dan Ryan until such time as we get the response that we're seeking. My name is Carl Lewis.